Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am giving our August wrap up. I'm going to talk about what we've been doing for the month of August, looking ahead to September. I feel like I just filmed our July video. Like, I'm not kidding. I feel like I just did that like a week ago, but a whole month has passed, and so let's see what's been going on. If you're newer to my channel, thank you so much for being here. I know I have gotten a lot of new subscribers over the last couple months. So my name is Ashley. I am a homeschooling mom to 3 kids. I have a 6th grader, 4th grader, and kindergartner, and we've been homeschooling for 4 years. I do work full-time from home, and so that is kind of an additional element to our homeschooling. How did our August go? It actually went super great. My update is going to be very similar to July because at this point we really haven't made too many changes. Our curriculum is pretty structured, and so we'll do a quick recap of what we've accomplished and how everything is going. So both my 6th and 4th grader use Moving Beyond the Page for their language arts, science, and social studies, and so they are working on different years of units, but they kind of finish around the same time. So they have just finished their 2nd units in their coursework. So the way Moving Beyond the Page works, if you're new to my channel or hearing about this curriculum, is if you use like the full combined subjects, they're always working on a language arts unit, which involves a literature book that they're reading, and then either a science or social studies unit. So they're always working on 2 units at one time. So in August, my 4th grader completed her language arts unit. She read the book Sign of the Beaver, and then she worked on a social studies unit on Native Americans. And so she's actually just wrapping up her social studies unit. That one went a little bit longer because of the final project. The final projects always change depending on the units, and I'll be honest, sometimes we do them, sometimes we don't, but I really liked this one, so she's just working on it. She's making a lap book. I think the whole final project is you pick a tribe that you've learned about or that you want to learn more about. You have to give some sort of presentation on it. I think it said to do a poster board. We don't have any poster boards right now, which I'll get to that in a minute. I had to get rid of them all, but she decided to just make a lap book. So she's going a little bit rogue, making a lap book, but it will still include all the elements of the final project. She has to make a native dish to that tribe. She has to build a traditional housing example and give the final presentation. So we're going a little bit slower, letting her work on that and finalize that, but overall she liked both of the units. They went really good. This level, so she's doing the 8 to 10 level. This level is still teacher directed, meaning the units have like teaching guides for me to teach her the unit. She's a very independent one. She's actually been able to just learn how to do this independently. So she reads through like the teacher portion and kind of just figures it out. I don't really love that, but I mean, she is very responsible and she wants the independence. And so I do kind of wish that this level was more independent in that way. The next level, the 10 to 12, which is their 5th grade equivalent, does become independent. And so I know next year, you know, that will be a good option for her. So 4th grader has been doing great with that. She's using Nicole the Math Lady and Saxon Math 5-4. Everything is going awesome. As always, no issues there. My 6th grader is finishing or has finished her 2 units. The People of Sparks was the book she read, and Geography and Landforms as well. So she's been working on these 2 units, absolutely loves it. These are the 10 to 12. Oh, I misspoke. So 9 to 11 is the 5th grade level. That's when it starts becoming independent. And then my 6th grader is using the 10 to 12 level, which is independent as well. No issues. I'm even more confident now that these are her, you know, units 3 and 4 than when we very first started. If you're new to using Beyond the Page curriculum, there's an adjustment period for both yourself and for the child. So don't give up after just 1 or 2 units. That you really have to adapt and understand this curriculum is set up different than any other curriculum I've used. So these are all good. She's using Saxon Math with Nicole the Math Lady 7-6. Working great, no complaints, awesome as always. They are both also using Zahner Blosser handwriting levels 4 and 6. No issues there. I do want to make a Zahner Blosser video, so if you have questions about the Zahner Blosser handwriting program, leave those down below so I can make sure to address that in that video. I am going to be covering levels 3 through 6. So we've used all those levels, so I can speak to those levels for you. And I just understand how the curriculum is set up, so I can help answer a lot of those questions. So that video should be coming out soon. Now let's talk about my kindergartner and how August went. I actually filmed a day in the life of my kindergartner to kind of show how we do school. I got a ton of comments talking about how realistic it was homeschooling a younger boy. And as you guys know, I obviously had 2 older daughters. They've always been great with school, whether it's when they were in public school, during shutdowns, when we started homeschooling. They are just motivated, they enjoy school, they will sit down and do their work. My son is not like that. And again, I don't know, I think it is the boy thing, and I'm not, going down that path, but boys are much more athletic and active. I noticed that between my 2 girls and son, as babies through toddlers, just they're different. Doesn't mean my girls don't like to run around and play and get rough. It's just there's a pretty drastic difference, and I'll just say it, in my kids is what I'll go for. So it is very challenging to get him to sit down and do school. 30 minutes is normally the sweet spot, and I have to catch him in the right mood. Midday works best. He gets out a lot of his energy in the morning playing with toys. We can do school, and then normally after school he does a physical activity like swimming or karate or something. So it's a little bit different that I had to adjust to. And we're not using an all-in-one or really, I don't know, open and go curriculum, especially for language arts. So let's talk about what he uses that is more open and go. He uses the Good and Beautiful math. That's working pretty well because it really is open and go. He understands it. The lessons don't take long. He's really good at math, and so that one's always easy to go through and get through. Science we only do twice a week. He really enjoys science, more so the activities, experiments, and videos. He doesn't really love sitting down reading the books all the time, but that's going okay. We only do that twice a week. So I combined the entire week of sunlight lessons into 2 days, which I actually have a video on. I don't know if that video is going to be out before or after this video, but I'll make sure to link it, where I actually break down what each day of work looks like. So in handwriting, we're using Danielian handwriting method, which I have a video on, and that is working good too. So all of those elements are pretty good. What we're struggling the most with is language arts and reading. One, because I feel there are a lot of elements to it, and I don't have a very structured curriculum. I'm kind of pulling from Bob's books, and we're reading Bob's books, and then I have some other readers and sight words, and so I kind of just feel I may be using too many resources, and I'm feeling very unconfident in language arts. I feel solid on his math and science and handwriting. I feel he's at good places with all those things. But the language arts and reading, I'm just struggling with. I would love to find just something that works well for him, is quick and to the point, and covers everything, but I just haven't found that. I like a lot of resources, but I just don't feel they're enough, or he's it's building enough or grasping information enough. So I'm on the hunt. I have tried using some online things. I've tried using the Hooked on Phonics app, and I know some of you let me know that they also have physical, stuff that they'll send you that goes along with the app. Not loving Hooked on Phonics, but we are trying right now Me Academy for their language arts and reading, and so far it's been going well. He watches the video, does some of their activities, and so we'll see. I'm not super in love with it, but I'm still on the search for something, and I could just be overthinking it. He's only 5. Maybe all we need to be doing is just reading together and going more a gentle approach, but I don't know. So if you have recommendations, leave those down below. if I make sense of, I guess, what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's my kindergartner update. I think I covered everything with him. Big news in August was actually had nothing to do with homeschooling. That's why homeschooling has been like the most quiet portion of my life, because everything's kind of just flowing. We're not making any changes yet. Because we are actually moving across the country. I made a whole video on my other channel, and if you didn't know, I actually opened up a second channel. I wanted to keep this channel you're currently watching very homeschool dedicated. One, YouTube prefers that for the algorithm, and you know, a lot of you, if you really only care about homeschooling content, then this is the channel for you. But if you want to see other parts of my life, I do a lot of day-to-day vlogs. I do like reading stuff, a lot of cooking stuff, and now our move I will be documenting. So quick sum it up, my husband was offered a job in another state, and it's a great opportunity, and it feeds into like what we want in the future. And so we are packing up and moving to a new state, and so that video will be linked if you want to hear all about that journey. We are very excited, but there's a lot of pieces to it. And so because of that and everything that's going into it, that will kind of lead into our September for homeschooling. Now I'm going to make a separate video on moving and homeschooling, because there are some aspects there that honestly I never thought of, because I never had, as much as I wanted to move somewhere else, I never had it in my mind when buying curriculum, choosing curriculum, setting up our homeschool space, like, hey, you're gonna have to eventually move all this across country. Good luck. And so, and there's different state requirements, and there's different communities, and there's just different elements. So I am going to be making a separate video on all of that. For the month of September, we're not moving in the month of September. Our move will happen in October. So for the month of September, we're actually on vacation the entire first week. We are going to Disneyland and Universal, which I'm really excited about. We actually had that trip planned in November. We were going to go for the holidays, but because of our move, we had to move it up. And so we're going next week. We're going to Disneyland for 2 days and Universal for 2 days. We're staying 6 days in Southern California, and I'm really excited. I think it's a good kind of breaking up from all the moving talk. My 5-year-old, well, all my kids have been to Disneyland multiple times. However, my son doesn't remember, because the last time we went, he was 1 both times. He went to Disneyland in California and to Disney World, and poor thing, he doesn't remember any of it. So he's like at the perfect age, and I'm really excited. I'm excited for my girls too, because even though they do remember, they were still younger. So I'm excited for them to see it in older eyes. And then obviously Universal, none of our kids have went. My husband and I have been, but we've never taken the kids. And so we're super excited. So anyways, I think I'm filming a video on that on my other channel too, but we're not going to be homeschooling next week is what I'm getting into. So basically a whole week of September is gone. And then for the rest of September, what we're going to be doing is both my daughters are going to be doing 2 more of their units. So my 4th grader has her language arts units, Native American animal stories, and ecosystems and ecology for science. So these units normally take us around 3 weeks. So they're gonna finish these in the month of September. My 6th grader will be doing, her language arts is on short stories, and her science is on our changing earth. And so those will be their last units that we complete before we move. One, because I need to get stuff packed. I will say, as much as I love this curriculum that I chose, I mean, this is, you know, just 4 of their units. I think they each have 3, 6, 9, they each have 24 units. And so, and there's books that go with each unit. And so that is a lot to pack. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Like, you know, when choosing curriculum, you know, I have shelves full of this curriculum, and that's really hard to move. And so, yeah, I need to pack it up, what we're taking and using. I was going back and forth, like, should I just stop using this curriculum because it's too much? But my girls love it, so like, why would I mess with that? So I am packing up the rest of their books and curriculum, so that will be packed up. Well, it's already packed up. So they're going to be finishing those units in September. My son, we're going to kind of just keep doing what we're doing. They co-ops start at the end of September. Wait, no, mid-September. The week after we get back from our trip, they're actually going back to co-op. So that is a huge update because we've been schooling 4 days a week right now. We've been schooling Monday through Thursday. So we've been getting a lot of lessons in preparation, knowing co-ops are coming. So our co-ops are Mondays and Fridays. And so they are starting their co-op classes and their like PE classes. And so they're really excited, and they're gonna get a lot of their classes in before we move. And so I think they're only gonna miss out on like the last 2 weeks of co-ops, which is really good. I'm glad they get to have like one more round with their friends, with their teachers and everyone. So co-ops are starting, so we will be a little bit more busier just because the kids will be gone those 2 days. We'll have that flexibility anymore to like, oh, we don't want to do school today, we can push it. We'll be back down to a 3-day-a-week schedule, which is normally how we function. If you followed me, I found the 3 days works best with us when we're in co-op season. So co-ops are starting. My kindergartner is actually going to be like in his official co-op classes. He was in kind of like preschool-ish classes his last few years of co-op, so now he's actually in elementary classes, which I'm really excited for him. They're all excited, and yeah, and there will be some changes for October. So like I just said, all their curriculum is going to get packed up, but we will have a few weeks in October where we're not moving. And so I am going to have a change for curriculum, or kind of like a substitution that we're going to do. I think we're going to do one of our units from Gather Round, maybe 1 or 2 units from Gather Round. I was talking to my kids about it, and I don't know if they would fully ever want to switch to just using Gather Round curriculum, but we do from time to time enjoy doing some of their units. I think it would be fun to have my son join in as well. So I would have like a middle school level, an upper elementary level, and then I don't know if I want my son to do pre-reader or early reader. I printed out some samples, and so I'm going to decide. So I think we're going to do a unit in October from Gather Round. And I do love their units. It's just hard for me to like incorporate a lot of it. But if my girls are only doing their math in October and then these units, I think that will be fine. I think it will be kind of a break, but still like keeping up and learning, because I don't want to take a whole month off, but we have to get stuff packed, we have to get organized. There's going to be a lot of flexibility things. So that's a look ahead. I'll have more of that update in my September video. Yeah, that's what's going on. So lots of like personal things going on. I'm obviously in a much better like headspace. If you saw some of my updates from earlier in summer, I had a lot of personal things going on, a lot of family things going on, and I feel like I can finally like breathe and push past that. My medical stuff that was going on is still not 100%, but I feel like I'm in like a neutral zone with it, where I'm not in a ton of pain, but I'm also not making any major decisions. So I'm kind of just dealing with it. I'm trying some like natural things to help ease it all. I did try some like medication, but I'm not one that like likes to take medication. So as much as it may have helped, it's not my ideal thing. So I don't know. I may talk more about that on my other channel, but as of right now, those of you that have been around and have like reached out, like I am in such a good place right now. Like I feel like, yeah, I had like a month where I could just kind of reset, and now we have some really exciting things to look forward to. And so all around in a great space in the midst of chaos, moving our family, going on vacations, all the things. So I appreciate all of you that are here. It's really cool like connecting with a lot of you through this platform, you know, even if it's like talking through Instagram sometimes, or talking down below in the comments. Like those of you that like consistently like show up and reach out, like it's appreciated. It's such a cool community that I have created here. So I appreciate you all very much, and I love sharing my journey with you guys. So if you're looking for any specific videos, homeschool related, let me know, or other related, those will just be on my other channel. So make sure if you're not already, you are subscribed to my other channel, because that's where I share everything that's not homeschool related. I think that's my update. So I hope you guys all had a wonderful August. I hope you are getting into fall for the September season. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.